started, I'll call the meeting to order. If you could please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome to the October 4th, 2018 Town of Riverhead Planning Board meeting. First item on our agenda tonight is a discussion item for GenDOT Associates, Country Woods Village.
I'm gonna take over, Karen, briefly on the details of the amendments to the resolution. Really quite simple, there was two changes that were made to the site plan approval resolution for GenDOT Associates. This resolution would revise resolution number 17-123, dated December 21st, 2017. The resolution was updated to include the ZBA extension of the variances that they received. And then there were also two conditions at the end of the resolution. One of the conditions, they were changed from conditions of issuance of a building permit to now issuance of a certificate of occupancy. Those two conditions were the establishment of the lateral water main and the payment of the recreational fees for each unit within the development.
That was requested, just made it easier for the applicant to move forward.
That doesn't affect the TDRs, right? They're
No.
purchased and done.
That's right, they're finished, yeah.
So those are the only changes, if the board has any other questions on it.
And they did update the ZBA?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The extension, the ZBA variance was extended until May 12th, 2019.
And Bob? I'm sorry, Bobby. Is this gonna set any kind of precedent, or is there a reason why we did it the other way? Okay.
Sorry.
They're looking for, payments on utilities at the time of CO instead of at the time of building permit, for, I guess, water and recreation.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, there was a mechanism put in place to do it at the time of building permit. Are we setting a precedent, or dangerous precedent, or is it?
I think you're all setting precedent, study, agree.
I think that I talked this through with both Mr. Ehlers and with Mr. Murphy, and they didn't think this was a problem for them. I think that's been done before, I don't think this is the very first time that's been done. I think in Stony Woods, we did virtually the same type thing.
Okay, I'm just trying to
We
find
did do that
out,
with Stony Woods, that's correct, I'm familiar with Stony as one of the instances where we.
is there any negative impact to the town by doing it this way?
From a financial standpoint, it's neutral.
So when we say issued at CO, does that mean each time a CO is issued, or it's all paid?
That's what we did
Yes.
with Stony, yeah.
Each time we had to pay. And we had to do the water lateral when the first CO was issued, yeah.
Bobby said there would be no impact even if a project would go on for a year or so, a year and a half.
Only if you're gonna say now that you're not earning the interest, that great interest we would otherwise earn on the money. But it's still gonna get the same amount.
No, I know, but
It's just gonna be over a long period of time.
Right.
I'm not opposed to, helping applicants and trying to help people get the job done, so I don't necessarily, I don't think there's a problem, I don't have a problem with it.
I think if you look at the intent behind it, as far as the key money for water and recreation, nobody's gonna be living in a house until the CO's issued, so they really can't place an impact or burden on those districts until people are actually living there, so I don't have a problem with it either. Okay, so we'll take it up under the resolutions. Okay, next item on the agenda, number 2, a minor subdivision of Calverton Manor LLC.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
You know Mr. Schneider, he's principal of Calvin Manor.
Yes. Just your full name for the record, please.
Gary Schneider.
Are you the property owner?
Yep. One of the members of the LLC.
Alright, so the planning department has received and reviewed a 3-lot minor subdivision application, which is seeking to subdivide an existing 35.5 acre parcel to create 3 separate lots. The 3 lots that would result if the planning board approves the subdivision would be 11 acres, 6.6 acres, and 17.8 acres. All proposed lot sizes comply with the zoning districts in which they are located. Secra was done on the proposed subdivision application. The application is considered a type 2, with no further environmental review required. The subject parcel is located at 3534 Middle Country Road, Calverton, which is on the northwest corner of the intersection of Middle Country Road and Manor Road, as seen on page 2 of the staff report. The northern, approximately 24.5 acres are presently being used for agricultural production, with a pending farm stand application being currently reviewed by the planning board, which was presented at the September 20th planning board work session. Apart from the existing storage containers on that parcel for the operation of the farm stand, there are no other structures on the property. The parcel is split zoned, the southernmost 630 feet zoned rural corridor, with the remainder of the parcel zoned agricultural production. On page 3, I highlighted an aerial from GIS system, which demonstrates where the zoning districts lie.
Ask a question when you get at that point.
Yes.
Why is the property line not on the zoning line? See, it's just a little bit further north, rather than just putting it right on the property, on the zoning setback.
So, I believe there is a provision in the town code which kind of allows a 30-foot buffer for a less restrictive zoning district into the more restrictive zoning district. So, I mean, if the applicant comments, I believe that was the intent behind it, to sort of capture all of the area that could be zoned rural corridor.
Correct.
Is the Lavender Farm right now taking lot 2 and 3?
Correct.
Speaking on the development rights of the parcel was subject to a Town of Riverhead transfer of development rights, which was approved by Planning Board Resolution number 15-29, dated April 16th, 2015. The sale of the development rights resulted in the preservation of 24 acres of farmland, which consists of the 17.8 acres, which is identified as Lot 3 on the subdivision map, as well as 6.1 acres from a parcel identified as Tax Lot 20, which is located to the north of the subject parcel, across the LIPA transmission lines. The boundary lines that are proposed as part of the subdivision coincide with the sale of development rights, so the meets and bounds from that sale are the same meets and bounds on this subdivision, so they're not gonna, they're gonna separate off the preserved farmland on its own separate lot. One of the issues identified in this application was access to the 6.1 acre parcel identified as tax map 20, located to the north of the Lilco fee parcel. Currently, access to the northern parcel is provided by 2 easements, which are each 50 foot in width, for highway and surface irrigation purposes over an undetermined course across the Lilco parcel. As it presently exists right now, tax map number 20 is landlocked. The only access are through these undefined easements. I know this was discussed with council, planning board council, as well as the applicant's council. And instead of going through the process of defining these easements and actually recording them, the applicant is willing to covenant that both properties, meaning lot 3 and tax map number 20, will be held in common ownership, or that tax map number 20 can be sold to one of the adjacent farms to not create a access issue. Unfortunately, Mr. Ellers is out of town, but I spoke with him on it, and he seemed like this was an amenable solution to the issue. It's noted that the parcel is not located within any Riverhead Water District or any extension. The closest water mains are located approximately 1,850 feet west on Middle Country Road, and approximately 890 feet east on Splish Splash Drive. I captured a GIS image on page 5 of the staff report to demonstrate where the water mains are in relation to the subject parcel. It's recommended that the applicant begin discussions with the Suffolk County Health Department, as the lack of public water availability may extend some approval periods during their review.
Hey, Greg, why do they need public water if the development rights were sold?
Well, development rights are sold on the northern 17.88.
Oh, the other two?
Yeah, so they still have roughly 17.6 acres.
Okay.
Which front on Middle Country Road, which still have development rights intact. Pursuant to the town code, there is a $3,000 fee per lot in the subdivision for recreational fees. In consideration of the fact that lot 3 has development rights already sold on it, it's not appropriate to ask for that fee on that parcel, so they would have to pay the two lot fee, $3,000 per lot, for a total of $6,000 to the town of Riverhead, and it would be a condition of subdivision approval. The town engineer had no comments on the subdivision plan. It was referred to the Suffolk County Planning Commission. Suffolk County Planning Commission considered the matter to be a matter for local determination. As is standard with subdivision applications, it will require health department approval. The approved map would need to be filed with the Suffolk County Clerk and Suffolk County Real Tax Property Service. In summary, as long as council is okay with the proposed issue of the access with tying the two parcels, that was the largest issue that presented itself in the review of this application.
And we have agreed to that.
Any questions the board has?
Other than the fact that you're going to, look at private wells, the health department will require a test well on the property. And they're probably gonna push you to extend the water main, although it's beyond their limits.
And I do have a resolution on for this meeting, which will schedule a public hearing on this
Have
subdivision.
we had the engineer report yet?
From the town engineer?
Yep.
Yes,
No,
sir.
planning, yeah, we did.
Well, this application was referred to the town engineer, Drew Dillingham, and he had no comments on the subdivision map.
I'm thinking of drainage more than anything else on Matter Road. And I know, Benny usually looks at that.
I will talk to the town engineer regarding that and have him look at it.
Orange, planning board engineer.
Oh, it needs to go to yellow.
I
Benny,
mean,
go to you.
I can refer the plans to Mr. Guardiola.
I think that's actually a low-lying area right in there. Take a look at it, I think if I remember.
Yeah, I mean, the property, I mean, you get
Sometimes some additional
Yeah.
drainage.
I can refer it to Mr.
Especially
Guardiola and
since
have
we
him
know
look
that
at
the
it.
lilac lavender farm is gonna attract a lot of traffic.
Okay, any other questions?
Nope, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you.
The next item on the agenda is a public hearing for a minor subdivision of Joseph LaRusso. If you could, just go to the podium. Do we have the affidavits of posting? We received everything? Okay. If you could just state your name for the record and explain what you're asking to do here?
Tracy Shaleski, JW Consulting, P.O. Box 674, Quorum, New York, 11727. We're here for a minor subdivision. It was already, two lots that were illegally split in the 1950s. So now we're basically playing catch-up. We wanna legally subdivide it for a modest, single-family dwelling. I already have, a denial from, the building department, so I can move on to the BZA for the, setbacks that, the side yard setbacks that will be created. That will be substandard. Any questions? I mean, I don't,
I just wanna note, it will require setback variances as well as area variances, because it doesn't conform.
oh yeah, that's right, it's
Doesn't
below.
conform to the RB 80 zoning
Yes.
district.
There'll be, 20,000 and 24,830 square feet. It'll have, 100 and 120, feet road frontage where 175 is required. We'll have, a side yard setback issue at 21.5 where 30 is required. The other thing though is that because the new lot that we're, proposing, well, our existing lot that we're legalizing, we're building a modest house. One of the variances that we're going for is actually smaller than the minimum required square footage. So we're required to have 1,500 square feet, we're proposing, 1,060. So, you know, it's not a big ask. I believe Mr. Lou Russo has lived in the area for quite a while, so it's not like he's, you know, cutting it and making his money and running, he's staying in the area. Also, the lot the vacant lot that we have is up gradient from the roadway, and so it's not gonna be set up a situation where, like, anybody's gonna be looking in anybody's windows for the existing houses. That's about it.
Aaron, I just think it's important to point out that most of the homes in Wading River, you have it noted here in your memo, Greg, don't meet the requirements, and this lot will fit in almost, you know, as all the others in the Wading River area.
Yeah, I mean, there was some variance, some were, you know, it is on the smaller side, some of them were, for example, 0.94, 1, 1, 0.8, 0.98. So I mean, they are slightly larger than what's being proposed, but again, none of those lots meet the 80,000 square foot lot size requirement.
Any other questions from the board? Anyone from the public, have any questions or comments, please come up to the podium and state your name, please.
Hello, my name's John Gossman. This is my wife, Catherine Gossman. So we live directly across from this proposed subdivision. We live in a house that was built in 1799. Our house is, I wanna say around 7,000 square foot. I'm third generation. I've been working on it for pretty consistently 20 years, restoring it. So this house that's being proposed is directly across the street from us, and it would definitely affect us. And what's happening here is I see that in Wading River, lot sizes are going smaller and smaller. So there is a 2-acre zoning right now. Once upon a time, I bought extra land to increase my size of my property. It was from the adjacent neighbor. They had to adjoin their land to make that happen because Riverhead was trying to push for larger lot sizes. So now I see this, that we're going to 0.45 acres, which requires essentially a permit in order to move forward. You know, my question is, how small can we go in Wading River? And, you know, where do we draw the line of a lot being too small? We're definitely heavily vested in this house. We're gonna be looking right at this house. It's gonna be looking right at us. And the neighbor that's to the west, their windows are gonna be window to window. So, you know, my question is where do we draw the line on this?
And also, our house is on the town historic register, and we're in the historic district, so, I'm sorry?
Move closer to the
Oh, I'm
microphone.
sorry.
Hi, our house is on the town historic register, and we're in the Wading River Historic District. And I think that there are building restrictions in height and such for properties that are being built adjacent to historic houses, which is what our house is. So I don't know if the builder is aware that they might have a lot of restrictions on them. And as she said, the elevation is higher, and I think that was one of the restrictions in the historic district, that a house adjacent cannot be higher. So the land is significantly higher on the property that they're proposing, and, you know, I think it would affect our property.
Did you read where this was actually done back in 1950?
Yes.
So this is really just to, you know, it was finished, it was completed, but never filed. So that's what we're trying to do now, is just to legitimatize what was already done. And we have to do it, this is the vehicle that we use to do it.
So initially, I believe, initially 2 owners owned the different properties, and I believe then this property became under the ownership of one person. And obviously now that they're trying to subdivide it, we're still just looking at, you know, look, we're talking about 0.45 of an acre. You know, how small can we go? I mean, where do we draw the line to say this property's too small to build on?
Excuse me, what's your physical address?
It's 2098 North Wading River Road. We're in the historic realm of things, we're called the Miller Homestead. It's a 1799 house.
Take a ride by and take a look.
Okay,
I'll do the same.
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or questions on this, public hearing? Sure.
I just wanted to, address the window-to-window comment. You can see in the posting photos that it goes up significantly from the roadway and, I'm sorry, I missed your name. Gosman. Mr. Gosman is actually significantly down from that, so there won't be any situation where people are
I think he was
looking in
referring
windows
to
and-
the neighbor to the west.
Again, you can also kind of see, I can bring back photos if you would like. There is green space that'll be between the two houses, and again, that house that's off to the west slightly is
Yeah.
down a little bit. This vacant lot is actually like a high point. So again, we're not gonna be setting up a situation where it's, you know, house to house to house to house, where it looks like Mastic Beach or something like that. There's gonna be significant green space around everything.
Okay, thank you.
And that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else, comments or questions on this public hearing?
I'll move to close public hearing.
Second the motion?
Okay, motion made and seconded to close the public hearing, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Public hearing is closed. Okay, so we're up to the resolutions. Any public comments on the resolutions? Anyone from the public on resolutions? Okay, number one.
Move resolution number 75 of the Riverhead Planning Board for Gendot Associates. Resolution to amend the conditions of the Planning Board Resolution number 123 for 2017 for final site plan. So moved.
Second. Okay, motion made and seconded to approve resolution 75 for Gendot Associates, Inc. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution is approved. Number 2 on the agenda.
Resolution 76, 2018, the minor subdivision of Calverton Manor LLC. Schedule a public hearing on three-lot minor subdivision application. So moved.
Second the motion?
Okay, motion made and seconded to approve resolution 76, minor subdivision Calverton Manor LLC to schedule a public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, resolution is approved. Any public comment on any other matter in front of the planning board? Any public comment?
Make a motion to move the September 20th, 2018 minutes of the Riverhead Planning Board. So moved.
Second. Okay, motion made and seconded to approve the minutes of September 20th. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Minutes are approved. Okay, at this time, the planning board will go into executive session to discuss, to have consultation with our planning board attorney, and we will come out of executive session and have, likely have further business, to conduct. So we're gonna go into executive session and we will return shortly.
Move to go into executive session.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to go into executive session, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?